Hey, what's up, guys? I'm happy to be back. I've had a lot of time to sit back and think and ponder. And I know in the Idaho 4 case, we're all focused on the victims Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan, and the families of the victims, the Mogans, the Chapins, the Kernodles, and the Gonzalezes, which we should be. But at the same time, guys, what about Bryan's family? His dad, his mom, his sisters? Because just like the victims' families, they lost someone too that they care about and that they love. He's sitting in Latah County Jail on 4 counts of first degree murder and 1 count of felony burglary. And what about how his mom and dad felt when their house was destroyed by a pre dawn raid just to arrest Bryan? And you also got to think he's 2,500 miles away from them in Idaho. Can they really afford flying or driving across the country to go see him? No. And there's a lot of people that say, "Oh well, he murdered 4 people. His feelings don't matter," or "Oh, their son murdered 4 people. Their feelings don't matter." We don't even know if he murdered anybody. We're just going by what a crooked police department is telling us. Moscow PD, who Brett Payne admitted on the stand when he testified at a hearing that he lets people finish his paperwork for him because they're smarter than him. Or like Mowry, who finished the cast report without using the cell tower data. And if you think about it, do you really think Bryan's dad would fly from Pennsylvania to Washington to drive it cross country with him for the Christmas break if he even had an inkling that his son had done such a horrific crime? Especially how they say, oh, there was DNA evidence in the car, which there wasn't. There was no sign of DNA evidence found in Bryan's car. His father wouldn't have rode cross country with him in that car if there was blood all over the car. And his dad wouldn't have been chatting with the 2 Indiana state troopers that had pulled them over 2 miles apart for the same thing, tailgating a van. And his dad was just chit and chatting with the officers. Now, where Bryan did mess up in that stop, when he told the officer, after the officer asked where they were headed, Bryan said, going to get Thai food. But then his dad corrected him and says, well, we're driving from Washington State University to Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. If I was Brian's dad and I was in that car and if I would have saw like any sign or a little trace of like blood droplets in the car, anything, I would have had Brian pull over at the nearest gas station. I would have got out and told him that he was on his own, which didn't happen. It didn't happen that way. His dad rode with him the whole way. And I'm pretty sure that it wasn't going through his dad's mind, hey, my son just unalived 4 people and broke into their house. We've got to put our thinking caps on, our critical thinking caps. We need to focus. Did Brian really do it? I don't think he did do it because his dad wouldn't have rode with him in that car. We need to put his dad, his mom, and his sister's feelings into this as well. Because their son and their brother is sitting behind bars, guys, 2,500 miles away from them. And I'm pretty sure that his mom misses him terribly, as well as his dad and his sisters. They miss him terribly because they can't talk to him face to face. They can't hug him. The Mogans, the Chapins, the Gonzalveses, and the Knodels aren't the only parents that lost someone. Brian's parents lost someone too. They lost the ability to talk to their son face to face because he is sitting in Latah County Jail. Do we want justice for the victims? Yes, we do. We want justice for Xana, Maddie, Kaylee, and Ethan. But we also have to think about Brian's parents. They need justice too. Justice for their son. Like always, like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell notification for any new uploads. If you're feeling frisky, hit the join button for members only lives, member shoutouts, member only perks, member only videos. This is Robert with True Crime Cult. You guys have a good night. Peace.